Hi everyone, it's Retroaction, and this is my Star Wars Customizable card game collection, comprising of what has already come to 337 cards at this point in time, and I've been collecting for, less than a month now, since 14th of January, when the first set arrived, or was it 11th of January, I don't know, but it came back here 14th of January anyway, and since then, it's been hot on our tail. It's been very hot around here. Yep, Star Wars Customizable card game. As you can see, there's all of our 4 packs, and we have this random assorted deck as well, which turned up on the 14th of January here. And since then, well, here we have it. So, the biggest thing of 2022 so far, the Star Wars Customizable card game. We have the random assorted pile, which comprises of Premier Limited, Premier Unlimited, so black and white bordered Premier, A New Hope, 1 card from Hoth, Snowtrooper Officer, 9 from Dagobah, including Executor Control Station and Captain Needa. And then we have Premier Limited, and this one is white borders, so well, it isn't Premier Limited, is it? But, you know, there is limited in there. There's limited in that one. So there's 2 old Premiers which go in there. Not one of them, but one of them is missing 2 cards, and apparently that was already known. One of those cards that were put in place was this one, which is from the Star Wars trading card game, which is in fact the successor, the not as good version, for Wizards of the Coast after the Cypher license pull. Down here we have the 2 special edition, Light Side and Dark Side, and the rares comprising of the Death Star and all those that I've gone over, including the Death Squadron Star Destroyer, in my rare foil video. So there's not going to be much covered here, obviously, because I've already gone over this and that. I didn't go over all of that. There were 84 when that arrived. I just counted it up now because we've had this issue where 2 cards from the Special Edition Light Side have just disappeared. And there was no trace of them. And there might not even been a trace of them when we opened it up. As you see, I was not the first one to handle these. The seller might have accidentally, you know, didn't ship them, or they weren't there to begin with, which was a very strange thought, but that is the way it seems. I have not found them as of yet. They did not find them on their side, Simon and Carl. I'm going around there today for another game of Star Wars Customizable card game, SWCCG. And maybe we'll find 2 cards, maybe we won't, because obviously we were sorting them there into common, uncommon, rare and fixed a special edition. So maybe in that process we lost some. The 2 Premier were already lost, we know that already. But this weekend I discovered that 2 special edition had been lost as well, or at the end of this week anyway. So the last 2 nights I've been trying to get that sorted out. There you go, or last night or so, I can't remember now. Hence why the special edition Light Side starter deck video came out. Because I noticed that I got the rares, and most of the cards I remember are there, but 2 have slipped through the cracks and were not even there, were either not there to begin with, or weren't there, or have just disappeared since. So that's very strange. There's only 2 cards, but the issue was we were playing a game for special edition, and that meant that requires 60 cards on both sides, of course, so we can play a 2-player game, which meant that 2-player game we played couldn't happen, because I was 2 cards short for my light side, because I was the light side in that game. So, and if the light side have 2 less cards, as we think at the moment, and as we've come to the conclusion of that, we've come to that conclusion so far, then that meant that game wasn't going to end well, no matter if it was our first or not. So that wasn't very helpful. So aside from the special edition having 2 less cards, and Premier having 2 less cards for the light side deck, and just one of the Premier decks, who knows which one. Well, we have 500 cards coming. We have the New Hope and Dagobah, Hoth and Dagobah expansions coming. I don't know if we have Cloud City or Jabba's Palace. I mean, Jabba's Palace is already sort of featured in this rare and foil set. For the most part, those 3 expansions are coming into the fray. And we have 8 cards, well, we have 4 cards that we don't know what happened to. 2 of them we're pretty sure. 2 of them were not there to begin with. The other 2, the special edition light side ones. This guy here, and if I should note, that box is a bit rubbish at the bottom. It opens up easily. And there's a bit of a gap there. You know, it did arrive in a bit of a state, so you could say that's the reason why. Well, it says here that each one, well, all of them come with 60 cards. This one only comes with 58. How do I know that? Because I've counted them all up for like 5 times now, and there's only 58 in there. And I've now counted all these as well, and it still came to 58 for just this pack. As for the Premier, the one has 48, the other has 53. That probably was because this went from 84 to 94, meaning that some of the cards from these Premiers have ended up in there, because we'd sorted them all out in the commons, uncommons, fixed and rares when that first game happened, just before that. And I didn't bother recalling that, because, well, I'm doing it anyway now with Special Edition, as you saw yesterday. Or the day before. But anyway, so yeah, this is Retroaction with the Star Wars Customizable Card Game Collection. 337 cards all in all. And we've got Effect, we've got Moving Flaps, we've got Generic Locations, Docking Bay 94, Yavin Trooper, First Aid. There's loads of cards in there. Intruder Missile. I am going to get round to this in its own video, as I've already done so for the Special Edition Dark Side Starter Deck. And I'm going to be sorting all these out into commons and rares.